The NFL season kicked off with a bang this past weekend with Monday night's much-anticipated matchup between the Broncos and the Seahawks, raking in nearly 20 million viewers, a record week one in the ESPN era, at least. Yahoo Finance's Josh Schaefer joins us now with the details. Just flabbergasted by these numbers, clearly, Josh.
Yes.
All right, so what do we know so far about the viewership, where it's trended, and is this a surprise at all?
It's got to be a little bit of a surprise because viewership's up, right? Okay. So we always got to call that a little bit of a surprise just because how many people already watch the NFL, right? Sure. So you mentioned those Monday night numbers were huge. 19.85 million people watch Monday Night Football. That's the most watched Monday Night Football game since 2009. And then when you go to Sunday Night Football, which was NBC and Comcast, 25.1 million people watched that, the most since 2015. So viewership kind of coming back. You remember during the pandemic, viewership was actually down a little bit.
Yeah.
And one other thing to point out when we look at all these numbers across the networks, the low number was 12.14 million. That's the only number that didn't beat the NBA Finals.
Wow.
So that gives you an idea of how many people watch the NFL. This is NFL Week 1. Those games, in the grand scheme of things, didn't really matter, right?
And that was the 1 p.m. game on Fox anyway.
It was the 1 p.m. game on Fox. Yeah. I don't think the national matchup was that good.
Kojic people were still at church at that time, so.
There you go.
Yeah.
And the number that was all the way to the left there is that 21.7 million, right? That's the last week's Thursday night number. And that's a big number to compare when we look toward this week because we have Amazon coming in for their first Thursday night football game. How does Amazon stack up against these numbers? Now, remember, it's going to be streaming only.
Okay.
So you're probably not going to reach any of these numbers. I've heard whispers of them maybe floating to advertisers about 12 million people they expect to watch.
Yeah.
So it will be different. But I think what this gives Amazon is a big platform to say people will come if we build out the platform,
Sure.
right? People will come. NFL fans want to watch it. They just need to figure out where they're going to find it.
Right, and that was the issue for me last week, and it sounds like for you as well, in that I didn't even know where to find the game because I was waiting for this partnership to begin and knew that the Thursday night games would be coming to Amazon, but it wasn't the Week 1 game that was coming to Amazon to kick off the season at least.
No.
But now it is.
It's going to be tomorrow night. It's going to be Chiefs-Chargers. It's a very big game in grand scheme of things, right? You have Patrick Mahomes, the Chiefs, a big brand. And I think what's going to be interesting to watch for this, Brad, when we talk about Amazon, the stock, and Amazon, the company, they're investing $1 billion into this. They did $121 billion in revenue last quarter, right? So it's not exactly like this is going to make or break Amazon's business here. But I was talking to Laura Martin over at Needham & Company, and she said the biggest thing that she thinks people are missing on this is how it's going to drive subscribers into Amazon's ecosystem. She thinks that's the play. It's not about how many people watch on Thursday. It's about getting you deeper and deeper into that Amazon ecosystem, something we talk about a lot with Apple, right?
Sure.
And how these tech companies get us involved, and then you're kind of trapped. Amazon wants you to watch this football game on Thursday, so then you buy more on Amazon Prime, and you're just spending more time on Amazon.
So has this propped up more people who are opting in to a Prime membership, at least on that side, because they know that football is coming? Because if we talk about the NFL marketing engine, or even annexing the NFL to some of the growth ambitions for a company, we were talking about SoFi earlier. Analysts were citing the NFL as a reason why there are some of the long-term implications that could actually be beneficiary for SoFi. Is the same case for Amazon Prime membership or subscriber counts as well?
It's hard to tell yet, right? Because you don't know until the games start, and then you can sort of see 200 million global subscribers, though, to Amazon Prime feels like a tough number to keep growing at some point. So we'll have to see. I think there's probably, from the analysts I've talked to, they seem like pretty confident that there's a decent amount of crossover already between an NFL fan and someone that subscribes to Amazon Prime. So I do think that'll be interesting to see. Do most NFL fans already have Prime? Is a good question.
Yeah, absolutely. Yahoo Finance's own Josh Schaefer, you're going to be watching the game. I'll be watching the game, and we'll see how we fare in our own survivor pools and different fantasy leagues as well.